my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Catherine and I am happy that you're here. Please make it a point to join the family by subscribing to this wonderful channel that leaves you informed, educated, entertained, and all those nice things you could ever think of. But if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here from the start. Thank you so much for watching us grow. Hata kama tuna grow pole pole. Just thank you so much for being here. Okay, so March ilisha, tuko April. Happy new month by the way, and I'd like us to talk about something. I know majority of the people who watch this will go like, "Aisi yo mambo ilisha," but no boo, haijaisha bado. Haijaisha kama bado hatujafunza madem how to defend themselves against assault. Haijaisha kama tujafunza madem na machali pia what to do immediately you're sexually assaulted. Haijaisha kama the police and the security sector haijafunza how to deal with rape cases and assault. Haijaisha kama hatujaona statistics zimeshuka. Haijaisha kama watoto wadogo wajacha kurepiwa in the name of. So today I want us to talk about consent. I want us to know what consent is, because it seems majority of us don't know what consent is. I want us to know what consent is, what it's all about, and what consent is not. Okay, so as usual I have my notes, so we get right into it. Okay. Higher. So consent is actively agreeing to be sexual with someone. That is sexual consent. Consent lets someone know sex is wanted. Sexual activity without consent is rape or sexual assault. It is agreeing to be in a sexual activity with someone before being sexual with someone. Consent is agreeing to be in a sexual activity with someone before being in a sexual activity with someone. Both parties must agree to sex, and consent is as easy. So number one, consent that we are saying, consent is agreeing to be in a sexual activity with someone before being sexually active with someone. Okay, before we get into that sexual act, consent is me saying yes before we get into that sexual act. Okay, consent is both parties agreeing that sex is wanted. Okay, consent is saying yes. Consent is saying yes. Consent is not saying no and the other party teasing you that you and the other party thinking you're saying no but you want it. Consent is saying yes, not yes no, not but your body language is saying something different. Consent is saying yes. Okay, hii mambo ya unatiziwa na mtu anakuambia vitu alafu unasema utaki, unasema hapana, and they are like unajifanya najua unataka, sitaki. That's not what consent is. So according to, I forgot to write the place where I got this information, but I am for sure going to tag them on my description box so that you guys can go and read about it, because you need the information anyway, all of you, both male and female. So consent, the person was saying that consent is as easy as fries. It's as easy as fries chips. So fries ni kama, it's an acronym. Okay, so FRIES. So F for freely given, R for reversible, I for informed, enthusiastic for E, and S for specific. So let's go through them one by one. Okay, so freely given. Consenting is a choice you make without pressure or coercion or manipulation. Freely given. Consenting is a choice you make without pressure, manipulation, or coercion. Got it? Reversible. Both parties are free to change their mind, regardless of whether you've ever had sex with that person before or whether you are in bed but naked. You are at will to say, sitaki anymore. I have changed my mind. I'm not for this anymore. Irregardless of whether ulikuwa umenipromise pesa or not, irregardless of whether mimi ni demu yako ama mimi ni chali yako, irregardless of anything. Consent is reversible. Naweza amua tumefika hapa but sitaki, and it's okay. That's for R. Informed. You can only consent to something if you have a full story. You can only consent to something or someone if you have the full story. For example, if he or she said they will use a condom and they don't, that is not consent. Okay? If we agreed kwa meza tukasema, okay, fine, you're going to buy me drinks, and after the drinks you're going to go and toirumu and shit goes down. Okay? But you promised during that particular time we're going to use protection. During that particular time, no BDSM shit and BDSM and shit like that. No hitting me, no nothing, no da. If then we get to that point and everything you said you won't do, you start doing, that is not consent. It's not the whole story. Haukuniambia. Nilikwambia, tuliagree, ukaniambia this is how it's going to go down, but then umechange mikakati. So that's not consent. Enthusiastic. When it comes to sex, you should only do things that you want to do, not what you're expected to do. That is self-explanatory. When it comes to sex, you should only do the things you want to do, not the things you're expected to do. So if you get to that room, and for some reason, you think, I am open to anal sex or oral sex, but that's not what I want to do, that isn't consent. Sawa? Haya. Specific. Saying yes to one thing, like making out, does not mean you said yes to sex. Consent is specific. To what level or to what limit or boundary have I consented you? Nimekupatia go ahead hadi stage gani? You understand? Nimekupea go ahead hadi sex, nimekupea go ahead we're just making out, ama nimekupea go ahead hadi wapi? That's what consent is. So anytime you think consent, fikiria chipo, fikiria fries. It's freely given, it's reversible, it's informed, it's enthusiastic, it's specific. Okay? So one thing that both parties are supposed to know, both male and female, is that you get the final say to what is to happen with or to your body. You get the final say over what happens with your body, regardless of whether you have had sex before or whatever. Hata kama mshai have sex before, you have a right to give boundaries to what happens to your body. This is what consent is not. Consent is not implied by the things you wear. Hivyo vile umevaa hata unafaa kurepiwa. Consent is not about your past behavior. Kitambo by the way alikuwa anafanya kazi kwa Inange. Kitambo by the way alikuwa huka, alikuwa kama wanaitanga nini? Pimp. Kitambo alikuwa pimp. So atakuwa tu okay na hizi story. Kitambo alikuwa anafanya kazi, alikuwa anajiuza for cash. Kitambo alikuwa anago around na sponsors for cash. Consent is not what my past was about. Consent is not where I go. Anaendanga club, so what? Anaendanga club, so what? Consent also is not what time you are out. And I was talking about on my previous video, I hope you watched it, and the link is up here. We were here. I was really thinking about just how much you reprimand women on kwa nini ulikuwa nje 11, and I was thinking Kama mwanaume anaweza kuwa nje 11 comfortably, well, pia mimi naweza kuwa nje 11 without thinking sifai kuwa nje juu nitaripiwa. As I said before, I'll say it again. If you're a pervert, if you're a sexual predator, keep it to yourself. Don't give reasons as to why people are supposed to be raped. Don't give reasons as to why you think a woman is supposed to be groped or a man is supposed to be groped. I've seen cases where men pass by somewhere and a woman anamshika just because his pants are tight, just because he is a man, and apparently you start to think you just think at enjoy. And this is the reason why men don't come forward to complain or to report that they've been raped, because apparently majority of people out here think that when a man is raped, of course you're not supposed to say sulijibamba, enjoy, as in it was sex. Yani ulipata tu sex ya bure hivyo. And that's not how we're supposed to think, okay? So consent is not implied. Consent is not the things I wear. Consent is not the time I'm out. Consent is not the places I've been. Consent is not my past. Consent is not where I go. And silence also is not consent. So just because I didn't say yes or no does not mean I said yes. Kwa nini hiyo silence yangu make as usi connote as no? Kwa nini? Why is it a yes? So apart from us knowing about consent and what it's about and what it's not about, I need us to talk about people who can't consent. Number one, minors cannot consent. Okay, minors cannot consent. Drunks cannot consent. Kama uko high, you cannot consent. If you're passed out, you cannot consent. So don't have sexual intercourse with someone because they were high and for some reason you thought they'd be okay with it. Don't have sexual intercourse with a baby just because you know hata kusema and hajui ni nini na happen. So there's law that protects a minor from sexual predators. Like, I'm not going to say you. My subscribers are not sexual predators. They are people of zeal. People that know their worth. People that know how to treat both gender. You know, male and female. So, I'm not going to say there are laws that protect minors against sexual predators like you, because I know my followers are not that, okay? So, you should know that there are sexual predators there are laws that protect minors from sexual predators and all that. All you need to take home from this video is that you need to know what consent is about. It's saying and it's agreeing to a sexual consent. Consent is agreeing to something before it even happens. You said yes. Be it a business proposal, be it whatever. But now we're talking about sexual consent. Sorry, sexual consent is saying yes or agreeing to sexual activity, agreeing to sexual activity before it actually happens. So my video was short like that, okay? For today, it was short like that, and I hope it hits home, and I hope you understand what you are, you understand what you're worth, you understand what you're not. You need to know you were not born a rapist, you are not born a pervert, okay? Don't let the environment change who you are. You're a nice person, and so you should remain, okay? So yeah, on our next video I think we'll talk about steps to take following a rape, because I feel like majority of the cases go attended to because we really don't know what to do after we've been sexually assaulted. Like simple things like don't shower, you know, things like those, which we are going to talk about on our next video, okay? Yeah, so please tell your friends to subscribe to this wonderful channel and to stay here, and please tell me what you think about this particular content. Tell me what you think about my channel so far. Am I on the right track? Are you enjoying the content I'm putting out? What would you like us to talk about any other type, you know? Yeah, so bye. Mwah.